How do you define a year? Is it by the number of deaths the country suffers? By the number of times the news tells us we're all in mortal peril? Maybe it's more personal. Maybe it's by the number of lacrosse games you're not allowed to play in. Or by the number of times you say, "This sucks, I'm bored." Maybe it's defined by the things you didn't accomplish, or by the number of times you cried. Maybe it's not a number at all. Maybe it's just an overall feeling about the year. If that's true, I think I speak for everyone when I say 2020 can easily be defined as a hot mess. I mean, the problems of today are the action-packed, heart-racing climaxes of yesterday's movies. We're in the middle of a cruel pandemic that has taken from us so much. We see it's told daily in the charts that mark the latest number of lives that fell victim to this awful virus. They say we're at war with the virus. I guess that means that these victims are casualties. And unfortunately, they're not the only casualties. The enemy of this war has also taken from us something we, as humans, hold so dear. Our experiences. The experience of winning a sectional game, or going to prom, or graduating from high school. Even the basic experiences of saying hi to your friends as you run down the hallway to your first class, scared that you're going to be late. We don't have that. We didn't get that. The virus took that. I've heard people say that 2020 is like the last season on a television show. The producers are out of ideas, so they just throw a series of different conflicts at the main characters and hope one is entertaining enough to keep people watching. I think this must be true, as it feels like we've endured so much this year, yet the universe keeps throwing stuff at us. But everything I've said so far, you knew. You knew 2020 was a mess, and you knew it's hard to define it as anything else. Hard, but not impossible. What if instead of looking at the number of casualties this war has cost us, we look at the number of war heroes who have stepped up? For every story of death, there is a story of hope. A nurse who drove across the country to help another human being, or a city that got together to applaud the warriors who fought daily on the front lines of the battle. What if instead of thinking about the lacrosse games you couldn't play, you think about the lacrosse Zoom calls you laughed your head off in while running through the house to complete your scavenger hunt? And maybe, instead of thinking about the things you were barred from accomplishing by Corona, you can think about the crazy things you did accomplish in quarantine. The headstand you learned, the cake you baked, the Chloe Ting ab workout you completed, even the 60-hour Marvel movie marathon you watched. Instead of the times you cried, think of the times you laughed. Maybe with a family member who suddenly became your best friend, or at a meme that summed up perfectly how you were feeling about the year. Even on some of the most pressing matters 2020 has forced on us, you can choose to see hope. Hope in the form of a new drug that has managed to save lives we previously would have lost. Hope in the form of billions of people who decided to do what was good for their neighbors, their family, and even strangers by locking themselves at home. And hope in the form of reopening, transitioning from one phase to the next. This is a hard time. A lot of people are suffering. A lot of people are in pain, both emotionally and physically. But that does not have to be the end of the story. That does not have to be the basis upon which you define your year. You could choose to see the hope that peeks through every dark corner this year. You can choose to define 2020 as a mess, or you can choose to be strong and define it as a year of hope.